By them making this donation, they kind of brokered a deal in
Oh,
order
that's
to
weird.
have my representation for it.
It's weird that he uses that word.
I don't know, man. I just feared for my life. Like, he was just right off the bat, just really aggressive, and I
Try your best. I know that it's a lot to go through, it's a lot to take in. Try your best to only answer what he asks. So if he asks, were you on the railroad tracks, just say, yes, I was. I can't guarantee anything beyond getting your sentence reduced, or hopefully, fingers crossed, not going to make any guarantees, getting the charges dropped.
Hello, oceanographers, and welcome back to San Andreas' finest. We're rejoining Megan Primrose here, who is in prison right now due to the crimes that she committed, and she's actually meeting with her lawyer right now. So without further ado, let's just get into it. Okay, so I have her sitting in this chair. It doesn't look that legit because the way the chair is modeled is taller than the emote that I'm using where she's sitting. So I can't fix that, unfortunately, but this is where she is, so we're gonna go with that. Just pretend that she's not sitting through a goddamn bench, just that she's sitting on the bench. But the lawyer should be showing up here momentarily. Kick, ban, demote, or promote someone in-game right from your iOS or Android device. Or simply change the user's Discord role. That's the power of Sonoran CMS. Learn more at sonorancms.com/ocean. Hi, they said I had a visitor.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Tom Matthews. I'm going to be your legal representation.
Oh, okay. Do you mind speaking up a little bit? Sorry that these phones really suck.
Yeah, sure thing. Of course.
I can't afford a lawyer though.
Well, that's okay. So, tell you a little bit about myself. Like I said, my name is Tom Matthews. I operate a foundation whose goal is to provide affordable or free legal representation in the state of San Andreas. The reasoning behind that is that I myself have personally experienced the inadequacies of the public defenders provided by the court system. I don't believe that they have your best interest in mind, and I don't believe that they defend you in a adequate manner. I've experienced it. You ask anyone else who's been through a court trial with a public defender, they've experienced it. And it's not fair that you are given a subpar attorney to defend you in court.
Yeah,
So,
that makes sense.
I have had an individual donate a sum of money towards my foundation with the caveat that I represent you in court. And of course, even without that donation, I would be more than happy to do so. They just simply spoke up on your behalf.
Someone's who would? I don't understand. I don't know anyone that would do that for me. Who was it?
They didn't give me a name. Give me a quick moment and I can find the name. They did it on the behalf of a group. The group that kind of brokered this deal for my representation is called the Eventide Group. Do they ring a bell?
No, I don't recognize it.
You don't? Okay. Well, regardless,
That's weird.
by them making this donation, they kind of brokered a deal in
Oh,
order
that's
to
weird.
have my representation for you.
It's weird that he uses that word.
So in the past, I've represented
If you know, you know.
fairly high publicity clients. The most recent event being the arrest of a fire lieutenant and firefighter by a deputy, and then most recently myself. So,
Oh well, I guess any lawyer that represents himself in court. I mean, you trust your own, education and all that.
yeah. I'm fairly confident, having examined the body camera footage, as well as the security camera footage on the trains, that we have a fairly strong case. With that said, I will not make the guarantee that I can get you completely off scot-free, release, no charges, anything expunged. However, I can almost guarantee you that we will be able to reduce what they're offering to an offense that will not pop up on your record. Below a misdemeanor to an infraction. So, I'm going to kind of walk through that. I'm going to start off with what I think we can use.
Okay, yeah, because, like, that dude, like, I don't know, man, I just feared for my life. Like, he was just right off the bat, just really aggressive, and I was alone in the middle of nowhere, like, I didn't trust him, so I ran because he was just trying to cuff me without even talking to me, dude, and I didn't like that, man.
And I understand that. So just real quick, just to put this out there, I'm currently looking at using the defense of no criminal intent, because you were not there with any criminal intent. You had no what's the word I'm looking for? No harmful intentions in being there. You were in an area trying to stay out of the public view, have a little bit of privacy, just kind of find some shelter. So, with that, my intentions are to discredit the officer who made the arrest. And I don't as much mean discredit as I do mean make his statements. Trying to figure out how I want to word this.
I mean, he fucking lied. That's pretty much how I feel about it.
All right. I'm going to make his testimony essentially. I'm going to discredit his testimony. That's the intention here. And in order to do that, I'm going to bring up certain defenses such as conduct unbecoming. In this case, conduct unbecoming of a public safety officer. They are not, in fact, employed by the railroad companies. They are employed by the state and or city. As such, they are public officials, just the same as any officer or deputy. Furthermore, by looking at the footage, I noticed that there was a lack of signs around the railroad. There are no trespassing signs around that railroad, and as such, use a lack of signage to argue that you were unaware that you were potentially trespassing, as well as the fact that the railroad police are a recent advent or creation. They're not a force that people are going to immediately recognize because they were only just recently formed. And to have one of them approach you in that manner, which I will personally attest is unacceptably aggressive. Any reasonable person would react to that in a nervous, perhaps flighty manner. And combining that with the fact that they are a recent formation, he very well could have been a police impersonator. Pair that with the fact that you are out in the middle of nowhere with this man, and if you happen to be a police impersonator, then who knows what he was attempting to do. Did he identify himself at any point in time?
No, when he first walked up to me, it was raining and everything, but like I could hear him, and he just like he said like, "You can't be here," and then something along the lines of like, turn around, and like was trying to get me to like turn around and put my hands behind my back, but like never like identified himself as far as I could hear, and like never told me what I did wrong. He was just like, get over here. Basically, I remember he said like, get over here, and turn around. I'm like, no, I don't know who the fuck you are, and like why you're doing that. And then after I said all that, he was like, well, you're trespassing because you're like within 5 feet of a railroad track. And like when he approached me, like I was like probably like a good like 8 feet away from the railroad track. Like I get that there was like a dash cam or some shit like on the train, and like yeah, okay, I was definitely on the railroad track, you know. But I didn't really, like, as soon as I heard the train, I like got the hell out of the way, you know. But just the way he conducted himself, man, it just scared me. Like, he didn't try to talk to me at all. He was just really aggressive.
Right. And so it is general policy amongst most of the departments within the state that they identify themselves. And furthermore, the fact that he failed to identify himself plays further into the fact that he is a member of a newly created organization, failed to identify himself, and was just issuing you random orders ad nauseum. And as far as you being on the tracks, if it is brought up in questioning, you are under oath. You do have to answer that question truthfully. However, you only have to answer the question that is posed to you, if that makes sense. So try your best. I know that it's a lot to go through, it's a lot to take in. Try your best to only answer what he asks. So if he asks, were you on the railroad tracks, just say, yes, I was.
Okay, yeah. No, I don't want to volunteer any information more than I have to.
Exactly. I will do my best to prevent the prosecution from toying with you, asking leading questions, so on and so forth. If the judge doesn't catch it, then I should catch it. And if I don't catch it, the judge should catch it, hopefully. We get a competent judge. So yeah. That's essentially my plan. I have his badge camera. I have the train's dash cam. I'm not sure a train has a dashboard, but the train's dash camera. I'm gonna go down to about where this happened. I'm gonna take some pictures, mainly the lack of no trespassing signs, as well as the fact that where your main interaction occurred was far more than 5 feet away from the railroad tracks. Furthermore, yeah, the officer skipped a lot of steps in the process of interacting with the public. And admittedly, I believe that having him continue to be a law enforcement officer might be a bit of a liability. So I can't guarantee anything beyond getting your sentence reduced, or hopefully, fingers crossed, not going to make any guarantees, getting the charges dropped.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I'm a little bewildered that you're even here and doing all this. Like I don't understand who it is that would do this, but you know, to try and represent or like to help me out and hire you. But like, I'm just gonna go with it, man, because like I hate it in here. I've been in here before. I don't like it. They're really bad in here, and I want to get out. So like, whatever I can do to just make that happen, that'd be great.
I don't know who's making the donation, but I'm here. We're gonna do what we can to get you out of here.
Okay. Is there anything you need for me, like, to do specifically in court? Like, I don't know how. I've never been to court before. I've usually just kind of pled guilty because, like, I know I've gotten up to some shit before, you know. So. Right.
So, the way that the process is gonna go is you've already, by me being here, you've already pled not guilty. That's kind of what this intent means. So, the process that's going to happen from now is I'm going to be in talks with the judge and the prosecution. There'll be a few meetings. There are meetings that you don't have to be present for. If I need any extra information from you, I can arrange for the sheriff's office to transport you to my office, which my office is my house. And then we can talk there just to kind of get you out of the setting, kind of, you know, take the tension out, because I won't lie, this current setting is not the ideal setting for a conversation with legal counsel, but it's the best that I have at the moment. And then what's going to happen is that after I talk with the prosecution and the court, if the prosecution does not wish to make an acceptable deal, so for example, I could potentially, if they're willing to, off the bat, no trial, they could offer us a plea deal for, a low-tier misdemeanor or citation in exchange for community service or something along those lines. If you're open for that and they offer it, would you like to take that?
Yeah, I think that'd be fine. I mean, especially and I wanted to ask you this kind of on that same idea. I know what my charges are. Like, obviously they told me when I was being arrested or after I got booked. But if I have to, I know I pled not guilty because I was trying to fight this whole thing with the being afraid and everything of this guy. But
Right.
the resisting charge was the one I really wanted to fight, because that was the one I was I ran because I was afraid. I feared for my life. I didn't know who this guy was, and he didn't really talk to me, so he just really was really angry off the bat, so I ran away. And I ran to a state trooper. I wasn't trying to evade the police or anything like that. I just wanted to get away from him. So the moment I saw a state trooper, I ran up to him because I was like, dude, please save me, because this guy's trying to fuck with me and I don't like it. So that's the one thing. If I have to take the other charges, that's fine, but that particular one is the one I was just no, don't give me that, come on.
Right, and I understand. And I'll do some reading through, see if I can't find any plot holes in their charges. The peace disturbance, I don't quite understand why they hit you with peace disturbance.
I don't either.
There's no public out there whose peace you disturbed. And beyond that, you didn't really create a major scene. Beyond that, the resisting or interfering with arrest, A, I don't like that charge. It should be 2 separate charges. But B, I think they're going to go with interfering with arrest because you did not physically resist arrest. It was more of a flight. You are correct. And I do believe I can also play the fact that you did run to a state trooper for assistance. I can play that in the courts in our favor in the court. And as far as the trespass, I believe trespass in the first degree insinuates malicious intent. So I will go read up on that, and if it does, I can absolutely get that either thrown out or reduced.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, the only reason I chose that location to set up my camp, and there's some other dude that I occasionally hang out with because we keep each other safe, because it sucks being out homeless and everything. Right. I chose that spot because there's a hill and you can't see the highway, no one can see you, and I figured we'll just set up camp here, and we're right next to the fast food place and the convenience store, there's a bathroom right in there, so that's why I set it up, and I just figured we'd be safe there. And the trains never used to run through San Andreas for a long time, and suddenly there's fucking trains, and then there's train cops, which makes I don't know, it was overwhelming.
Right. Were you aware prior to this point in time that there was a 5-foot rule with the train tracks for trespassing?
No, I never knew that before, and that's what I was trying to get at with him when I was trying to talk to him, was I don't know these things. Just if you just talk to me and explain it to me, all you had to do was say hey, you're on railroad property, and you can't be this close to the tracks, you can't be on the tracks. All you had to do is say that, and I would have been all right, no problem, man. Me and the other guy, we'll just pack up our shit and find somewhere else to live, and that would have been it. It would have been fine. But just the way he came at me, it was just he was just ready to throw me in Bolingbrook.
Right. And I understand completely.
And dude, I have been trying to get back on my feet for so long. The closest I got to it was I had an RV. I finally had an RV, and everything was going good. And then the cops came at me really hard that time too, and I ran from them. And yeah, I was totally in the wrong for that one, but this one was I really feared for my life in this one.
Right. Right. And I understand where you're coming from. So I will build a defense. I will see what I can do about a plea deal. If they don't offer a suitable plea deal, then we'll take it to trial, and if we go to trial, then I don't see why we couldn't get it at least reduced.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Like, even just a reduction would be great, because then I can just get out of here sooner. Would be really nice, because I hate it in here, man. I believe me, I wouldn't do anything to get myself back in fucking prison. It's bad in here.
Right. I understand. Alright. Do you have any other questions, comments, concerns for me?
No, that's it, really.
Okay. Well, if you have no other questions, comments, or concerns, I'm going to go ahead and go try and gather some evidence and make a couple phone calls, and hopefully we can get this done in a timely manner.
Thank you, and if you happen to be in contact with whoever made that donation, just tell them thank you if you can. I don't know who they are, but if they ever want to, I don't know, say hi or something like that. Like I still don't understand, but I just why they would want to represent me or make a donation on my behalf. Like, I don't know anyone who likes me anymore, so just yeah, that would be great if they could just reach out after all this is over.
Absolutely, I will see what I can do.
All right, thank you.
All right. Well, Miss Primrose, be safe, and I will hopefully see you soon.
All right, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Ooh. There we go.
Woo! Okay, so Megan is going to get represented by a lawyer. Ugh, okay, I had the same problem. And a mysterious benefactor is funding this whole thing. So that's incredible, because I thought that Megan was going to just get a... I'm sure Megan thought the same thing. She was just going to get a state-appointed defender because she doesn't have the ability to afford one. So, you know, I figured, yeah, we're just going to get a state defender, and it's going to be a whole thing. But yeah, so we're going to court, and we do have an actual court system in SAF. So you guys are going to get to see a whole court case. It's not a traditional court system like you would see IRL. I'm not even sure if there's like a jury. I think a lot of roleplay communities tend to have, like, you know, a defender and a I forget what they call the state representative. It's not the offender, I know that much. That's Megan. Well, you have the two lawyers, and then you have the plaintiff. Yeah, plaintiff. And then you have the judge. And that's how a lot of roleplay communities do it. And I think that's how SAF does it too, where you just have a judge, the two lawyers, and then the probably the cop who arrested her is going to be there. Maybe some witnesses, and then obviously Megan and her lawyer. So it'll be very interesting to see how this all plays out and how the court case goes. I have not yet experienced the court system in SAF, so this will be a whole new experience, but I'm really excited for it. I'm sure, you know, I'm obviously going to have it in a future video, so you guys just stay tuned for that. But thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.